And change is just something you have to deal with it. But it's a little bit easier when you're in control of that change. It's like when people buy a house for the very first time. It's very uncomfortable. There's mortgages, there's payments that you're now making, things that are outside of your comfort zone. But as you go through it, you realize it's not that big a deal, and you persist and you get through it. And it's the same with anything else. It's the same with anything that anybody does in their life. As long as you just kind of, work through the rough parts, eventually it smoothens out, and then you have to go get uncomfortable again in order to keep growing. And that's the only way to keep growing, I believe.
Wonderful. Somebody actually, one of our guests suggested a new title for you. Change is good. So it sounds good. Great. What I will do right now, John, thank you for the short interview. I will put us on a break for about 1 minute, and I will allow our guests questions. And those guests who want to dial in, you could dial in at 917-889-8252, and we'll be glad to put you on air, and we'll be allowed you to ask a question from John, and we will have about 10 minutes for questions right after the music will end. Thank you very much, John. Hold on.
Thank you, Vitaly.
We'll be back then. Welcome back. I see a couple of guests registered, and I see some questions are coming right now on our chat, in our chat room. And I have a question for you, John, here. What's next for John?
What's next for John? Oh, that's interesting. Well, one is to get in front of an audience of 10,000 people. The other is to become a world-recognized photographer. And I guess thirdly is to just help out as many people as I can, whether it's through I really enjoy helping and assisting people through, overcoming their own challenges in public speaking as a mentor, which I'm a mentor to a couple of people. I think those are the only two things at the top of my mind right now. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's other stuff, but as you reach one milestone, you just end up creating another, and I'll figure that out when I get there.
Amazing. And a question for me: what is so far the largest audience you talked to?
My largest audience. Well, I competed. So I entered the Toastmaster contest, and I think the largest audience I had was when I competed at the division. I forget what the audience was. It was between 2 and 250. So that's what I've presented in front of right now. But I've had the opportunity of speaking, and this is where I found the most growth, was talking to audiences outside of Toastmasters as well, because you get a completely different type of reaction, and you really learn where you have to finesse your skills to deliver a message that's consistent to a particular type of audience versus a regular Toastmaster audience.
I see. Well, thinking of somebody who is right now sitting on a fence and not sure if Toastmasters program is for them, not sure if they are ready to begin, if they are ready to join that club and the mount, and they see great speakers who can just stand up and deliver stable topics. What would you say to them?
Sorry, you just broke up there for a little bit, Vitaly. Can you just repeat that last part?
What could you say to people who are sitting on a fence and not sure if they are ready to join Toastmasters program? What could you tell them?
Well, that's easy. Just keep sitting on the fence, but sit on the fence on the side on the inside of the fence. And so what I mean by that, if you're not overly comfortable about getting up there and standing in front of the audience, come to the meetings and just, if you need to, be a participant for a little while. And as a participant, you start to understand how things start to work. And then you move slowly into a role maybe that you don't have to speak too much, like a timer role. Or you take on one of the other, I'm going to say simpler roles for the sake of, simplifying the process, but just, start small and build up from there. Some people I've seen, they come to a meeting for the very first time and they want to deliver a speech the very next week. And that's fantastic. And those type of people are great to have, but it's also great to see people, especially in my home club at Rogers Park, there's a lot of people whose language English isn't their very first language, and they have to slowly build on the skills, and it's great to see that progress for those people, because you're part of that. The club helps people move through that. So just start small and eventually work up to something big is the only message I got.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And that absolutely goes in line with Darren Hardy's book, Compound Effect.
Oh, yeah.
Right. John, somebody's asking here also a question. You have a website, a photo website. You have a blog for the things you've learned.
Sorry, say that again? Sorry, you just broke up there for a second, Vitaly.
I apologize. Something is happening, yes, technically.
Yeah.
People are saying that you have a photo website. Do you have a blog on photo tips and tricks?
Yes. Actually, yeah, I do. It's actually interesting. So I have a photography website where I display, and it's my portfolio for the work that I do. But I also have a website so earlier this year I self-published a book called the ABC Photo Guide as a guide for people who want to get into the photography business. And it's a quick little, it's up on Amazon, and people can check it out if they want. And I built a website surrounding the book, and it's called the actual website is www.abcphotoguide.com. And on the site, I've actually been able to use my Toastmaster skills, because there's a video portion to the site where I do small little 1.5 minute to 2 minute videos on various chapters from my book.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, I guess, and in fact, I also would like to congratulate you and congratulate us. This is our first ever District 86 live radio show, and you're our first guest. So congratulations, and thank you so much for accepting this opportunity to talk and present to our radio listeners as well. We've learned a lot from you today, and you're a so interesting person. 7 years Toastmaster, became DTM, in smoker and out of shape person in the past, and became marathon runner, a person who was shy, right now speaking to large audiences and has a goal to speak to 10,000 people. Can you imagine that? And John, I wish you success in everything you do. I wish you speak to 10,000 people, and don't forget to record yourself, and don't forget to invite professional photographers to actually capture that moment in life and leave it for the history. And also, I admire your big passion for helping others to change. And it seems like this is a definitely good title for you. Change is good. So keep doing that. Keep influencing people by giving example on how you achieve things. And I'm sure many people will be glad to follow you. Will be glad to do exactly what you are doing. Thank you, John, very much. Our program comes to the end, but hey, please stay tuned and visit us on www.toastmasters86.org. We are also on Facebook, District 86 Toastmasters. Please watch for announcements, and our next show will be on Tuesday next week. Thank you, and have a great day, everybody. Bye, John.
Thank you. Thank you.